Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. I know we just talked about the ratings, but now we have a real comparison. We have ratings for the first Indiana Fever game since 2023 without Caitlin Clark, and it was on NBA TV, which we had a game against the Atlanta Dream on NBA TV last week. And this was the only game on, I believe, right? Wednesday night was the only WNBA game on, so it should have absolutely monster ratings, although you can see here, maybe not so much. Let's go grab some of that popcorn. We're going to stir the pot a little bit. We're going to unpack this. These ratings, man, they are screaming louder than a toddler in a candy store, and it's a toddler who's not getting the candy that he wants. Okay? The Indiana Fever took the court without the golden goose. Caitlin Clark, ratings 357,000 viewers. The game against the Atlanta Dream, 581,000 viewers. And unlike yours truly, and I know it hits me where it hurts in the wallet, but I am not going to shill. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to spin to make y'all feel better about this. Unlike Buggy here, who decided to be snarky, I guess, and go after the Fever fans and say, guess people are fans no matter who plays. Fever Mystics on NBA TV averaged 357,000 viewers, making it the 10th most viewed WNBA game on NBA TV ever. Now, that is in response to a lot of people, like many of you maybe as well, who said, you know what? With all this, I'm not watching until Caitlin Clark comes back. Now, some said they'll watch the Fever. By the way, I'm sure a chunk of this is actually people who aren't going to watch, but they were curious enough to check in on the first game without Caitlin Clark to see how it went. But when you consider everything that's going on, it makes a lot of sense. Why should they watch? They're not welcome, right? The league doesn't like them. The league hates them. We've seen that over and over again. We saw it with the sham investigation as well. And what's really interesting, and this shows you, this is why I call them the IQ of a doorknob, right? Because this is shilling, this is spinning, this is cashing WNBA checks, my friend. Because Caitlin Clark just played last week on NBA TV and did 581,000. That is a drop of 39% already for the first game without Caitlin Clark. And judging by people's reactions and judging by the quality of play in that game, that may get worse. That's not a dip, folks. That is not a dip. That is not a, oh, well, people are still watching type of ratings. That's the WNBA doing a belly flop off a cliff into the shallow end. Again, May 20th, Atlanta Dream, NBA TV, 581,000 viewers. This game had no competition, no other WNBA games going on at the same time. So apparently, without Caitlin Clark, nearly half the audience, they decide they'd rather watch paint dry. Right? This isn't ratings of non-Caitlin Clark games plummeting because Caitlin Clark is injured and people say, you know what, with the league, the way the league's acting, I'm not watching. No. This is the Fever. This is Clark's team. But hey, come on. Just like the WNBA keeps telling us who needs Clark anyway, right? No problem. Just swap out the biggest draw in women's basketball for, I don't know, what, a rerun of Storage Wars? That would make it, right? I think solid plan, WNBA. You are knocking it out of the park as always. Come on now, let's be real. Caitlin Clark is not just a player. She is not just a generational talent. She is the most entertaining, most fun, most charismatic female basketball player in history. She is a one-woman viewership magnet. We already know the Fever's games last season, some of the most watched in NBA TV history, and now the fans are sending a clear message. It is louder than my neighbor's Karaoke nights. No Caitlin, no clicks, no Clark, no views. And really, again, can you blame them with everything that has been going on? The Caitlin Clark crew is saying no mas. They're hitting the eject button. They do not want to be in this plane that is going down. Buckle up. It's not just because the Fever's offense without Clark looks absolutely terrible. It's boring. Ferentz is trading say up their basketball. This is just isn't fun without her. I don't know what Steph White was running with that offense, but it was boring as hell to watch. It was cringe. WNBA pre Caitlin Clark. There was no Clark out there dropping dimes, draining threes from the next town over, making defenders, speaking of that toddler crying in the candy store, making defenders look like they're chasing a toddler on a sugar high because they got the candy finally after that temper tantrum. Seriously, without her, it's like watching a game in slow motion. I said it the other day. It's like watching that they were playing in quicksand. They were playing in mud. It had the excitement of a tax seminar. I tuned in, right? I did a post game. I watched, I suffered for all of you. I suffered for my art. And there was no razzle dazzle. I got razzle fizzle. The Fever forgot how to score. This was a Connecticut Sun offense, which, by the way, they've been trying to run with Caitlin Clark, but she's pushed back a little bit. And look, it's not just the on-court snooze fest. Fans are fed up. Fever fans are fed up with the WNBA's off-court nonsense. They are fed up being targeted by the league over and over again. They're fed up being targeted by the media over and over again with the fake allegations and the slurs and all of this nonsense, in which, of course, they found nothing because we knew there was nothing to find. There was no need for the investigation. It didn't happen. 2025, every fan holding a smartphone. You're telling me nobody caught it on video. Again, we already knew. Now, there should be an investigation into Angel Reese because she went with the reporter who should be at the very least reprimanded with the questions about those things being said. And because Angel Reese said, oh, yeah, it's hard to hear. Well, what exactly was hard to hear? We all want to know. But hey, I guess we can give the league a gold star for effort. They seriously thought they could just toss out some vague accusations, stir up a little drama, call it a day. But Fever fans said, no, 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 no. Excuse me. Back up. Hold up. We have always just been here for basketball, not your soap opera activist drama. And we're getting tired of it. Fever organization, we're not any better. I'm sorry. I get they have to toe the line to a bit, but they did not defend their fans in any way, shape, or form. They sat there twiddling their thumbs. They refused to stand up, even after when the WNBA finally said, oh, no, no, you know what? We couldn't find anything. The Indiana Fever thanked them, didn't say anything about, hey, we know our fans didn't do this. We know our fans wouldn't do this. And this was a witch hunt. Yes, they can say that. Yes, the team can say that. The organization has enough power to make such a statement. This is no way to build loyalty, Indiana Fever. All that admin that everyone was loving, it looks like they flipped to another one because they're going the wrong way again. Absolutely ridiculous. And do not get me started on how Caitlin Clark is treated on the court, which also impacts this. She's out there getting held, elbowed, grabbed. Man, in this league, she's probably getting tickled, and they're hoping they get the right reaction. I mean, who knows at this point? Uh, the refs just stand there like, whatevs. League told me to let Clark get beat up, so that's what I'm doing. Let's make Caitlin Clark play rugby instead of basketball. She will embarrass us with her basketball, so we've got to allow them to hold, clutch, grab, hit, punch, smack. Caitlin Clark, anything to slow her down. Except, you know what happens? She ends up getting injured, and people say, "Yeah, we're not watching." Fans are not happy with this crap. But Caitlin Clark crew's out here yelling, "Nah, man, you got to protect our queen." And the league's like, "No, we don't. We have NBA money," which is a whole nother story and a big part of the problem. But look, man, one time Clark got tackled harder than a Black Friday shopper going for that last discounted big screen. The ref's just looking right at it, yawning, checking his fantasy football lineup, checking his FanDuel account, checking his DraftKings. Anyway, look, the fans are absolutely fed up with this crap. And the ratings are a way of telling you that. We are not here for this nonsense. The Caitlin Clark crew is loyal, but they are not dumb. They are not punching bags. They're tuning out because they are tired of the drama. They're tired of all the things they are called. They're tired of Caitlin Clark getting beat up on the court and off. The league's acting like she's just some other player. So Stephanie White, by the way, don't get me started on that. Newsflash, she is not some other player. She is the only reason that your games are on national TV. The only reason you're not just live streaming these games with one stationary camera for the 12 viewers on TV and the 7 in the stands. These ratings are not good. They are a 5-alarm fire, Doug. You got a new collective bargaining agreement that needs to be hammered out for 2026. Keep alienating the biggest fan base you have. You are going to be negotiating to being allowed to take only a 10% pay cut instead of getting all the stuff you think you're going to get, because the Caitlin Clark effect is real. She's brought eyeballs, she's brought dollars, she's brought hype to a league that has never had it and desperately needs it. But the WNBA insists on fumbling the damn bag over and over again, not just ignoring the fans, but attacking the fans, insulting the fans, botching fake investigations, letting Clark get mauled on the court. Clark crew is going to be, hey, man, peace out. Good for you. We're out. We love Caitlin Clark, but enough's enough. And we know if y'all ditch, the Caitlin Clark crew says, you know what? That's it. We're out. We're done. We're gone. The league is going to be more trouble than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I had to pull out. That's an oldie but a goodie. I had to pull that out. 357,000 viewers is bad. It's not good, Doug. It went from 581 last week to 357 at point blank range. Ain't nothing strange. You're having a heart attack. That is some old time LL Cool J back when he was good. Anyway, eventually it's just going to be me and my dog watching, so I could do a post game for all of my YouTube viewers, but they're not watching the games. They're watching me tell them about the games. Wake up. Hello. WNBA, stop treating your fans like they're auditioning for some sort of, I don't know, Grumpy Cat the movie or something. You got to start fixing this mess or you will have no viewers. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Really do appreciate it. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. You know you want to. Stop resisting. Embrace it. Go have the day you deserve, and I will talk to you later.